Okay, so in the first video, which you'll have just finished watching, we took a 2D shape, a rectangle, and we made it 3D into our cuboid shape, which we now want to begin editing and changing the features of to allow us to fit the circuitry for our LED lamp and also make sure it fits nicely within the mood lamp overall. So if I go back to SolidWorks, this is what we were doing to begin with. Now, what I didn't show you before is being able to change views and the angles with which you look at things. If you click on this icon just here, where it says View Orientation, and click, this will immediately allow you to start changing the angle with which you look at things. And this is again a really nice feature. If I click at any of them, I can look at your project, your piece which you're building on SolidWorks at any angle, and this is really nice if we want to do work on specific sections or parts of this fitting. And I'm literally just highlighting these panels here, choosing the one I want, and it will immediately switch to that. So what we need to do is to create somewhere for our circuit to fit into. At the moment it's just a box. If you consider the fitting which Ms. Keeling will hopefully have shown you before, you will see that there's actually a gap in one end which the circuitry fits into. So the circuit will fit in here and it will slide in down the length of the box. So that's what we want to do now. We want to create that space, and in order for us to do that, we need to sketch out where that shape is, where that hole is going to be, and it's going to be on this face just here. So firstly, before we go any further, I recommend you change the view so that you are end on to it. Once we're at this stage, if you haven't already, click on this part of the shape, the panel. It will highlight blue, right click, and then click on sketch again. And what we're going to be doing now is actually sketching on this face of our cuboid shape. I'm going to go back to rectangle, and I'm just going to click almost in the corner, not completely, doesn't matter, and just draw out a rectangle and click again. And that's the initial part of creating this feature. What we now need to do is make sure that this cutout, which we're going to do, is positioned in the right place. What we don't want to do is have it over in one corner or hanging off the edge or anything like that. We need to make sure that our feature is going to have walls. There is, the fitting has got a solidity to it. So the gap from this orange line to this orange line is actually going to be the thin wall of the shape. Same here, orange line to orange line is going to be the wall. So what we need to make sure is we ensure that these walls are going to be thick enough so that the whole thing doesn't fall apart and collapse in on itself. So to do that, we're going to use the Smart Dimension tool again. If you click on Smart Dimension, and again highlight the line that we want to work on, drag that up, click once, and we're going to change this to 10 millimeters. So I've typed it in, I've pressed tick, it's changed it to how we need it to be. After we've done that, we're then going to change this dimension as well. Click once and pull that out. We're going to set this one to 20.5, press tick, and it will automatically extend it as it needs to. Next, what we're going to do is make sure, as I was saying, that these walls are going to be thick enough. So we're going to click the outside edge of our box and then the inside edge of this hole which we're trying to create. Click once, drag out to here, and this wall needs to be 2 millimeters thick. So I'm going to type that in and then do the same at this end here. If you click on both of them and drag out, you will see automatically that it is saying 2, and that's great. That's what we want it to be. We want it to be equal on both sides. So at this stage, don't worry about clicking, don't worry about dragging it out and trying to alter it. Instead, just press escape and it will automatically cancel it. And escape is a really nice tool again to use at any point in this stage. If something's gone wrong or you're not happy with it or you want to start again, press escape. It offers you the opportunity to just go again. Next parts we need to do are going to be the thicknesses of the walls from this part to the inside edge here. So to do that, much like before, click on the two walls that we want to work on, click once, type in 4 millimeters, and it will drag that out. And then finally, just like before, if you click on the outside edge and that wall there, you will see it's already set to 4. That's how we want it to be. We know that the gap that we're creating is going to be equal on both sides. We've got a nice solid structure to this. Perfect. So you can press escape twice and it will clear that out. So this is the basis for the slot which we're going to be creating into your fitting. Perfect. If we now change the angle which we're viewing this at, so pull it out, and I would recommend going to this view here. What we can now do is tell SolidWorks that we want to cut into this shape. So instead of pulling out like we did when we made our rectangle 3D, we're going to tell it to pull out a cutting motion down the length of the box here. So we're going to go back up to the top corner here, go to the Features tab once more, but this time go to Extruded Cut. If we click on that, it will automatically, once again, demonstrate to you what it is that is going to happen. And at this stage you can just have a look and see. You can see that the depths can be changed. Now what we have to do is make sure that the cut doesn't actually go all the way through. We need to make sure that at the end there is also going to be a wall between the outside face of our box and inside where this cut is going to. So we're going to be ensuring that we've got a wall shape, a wall distance like we have here between these two edges, but from this inside cut to the outside face. As you can see, if I move that around, it is possible to see what I'm talking about. You will see that's approximately how deep it's going to go. We can't be approximate, we need to be precise in technology. So if we click on the 39 or whatever the measurement may be, this extruded cut needs to be 42.5 millimeters. If you press tick once you've done that, it will automatically set it to that depth. You can then press tick to confirm that action, and it will automatically have made that cut. You can't see it here, fair enough. Go back to this angle, you will be able to see that you have done it. And if you hold down the roller wheel in the middle of your mouse, hold it, click it down and hold it and pull around, you can see all the way around your shape that you're creating thus far. You will be able to see that that is now a hole with which we can slide the circuit into. So that's perfect. That's looking really, really good. There are now little things which we're going to do to make this this feature, this design, this fitting which we've got so far even more suited to the lamp itself, because we can tailor this however we want it to. So at this stage again, I'm going to pause the video, making sure that you can catch up with anything that you're not sure about or go back over it, and then what we will do is go on to do the fittings and the changes that I was talking about in the next video. So I'm going to pause it here. See you on the next one.